you go check out our page. This past weekend, our good friend Bubbles, her daughter, celebrated her 8th birthday for the
Fourth time.
Fourth time, and it had that girl's had lots of birthday parties.
It was 2 birthday parties in one day. The captain started to go a little loopy. It became a really entertaining comedy show, and then somehow a dress was put on.
And there was some balloons,
yes,
and a wig.
I became, to all you Winnipeg listeners, and I really hope there's some Winnipeg listeners out there.
Tranny?
I became the Transcona hooker. I can't say tranny, that's offensive. It's the Transcona hooker. More politically correct. I had myself a baby, and apparently really big boobs with a nipple showing, and I hit my baby across the corner of a wall, and I had a dress on that's basically
pretty much Transcona. Right?
I had a dress on that pretty much sat over my butt. I had a nice blue wig on, and that was my weekend. This normal day.
Just a normal day in Transcona.
Yeah, it's a normal day. So yeah, no, I completely forgot about that, and for obvious reasons. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
You know what? It was going to get brought up sometime during the show.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I wore a dress that more or less was like a shirt. If I was wearing like no pants, well, I'd probably much be flashing everybody.
I wish someone had went off and actually posted a video of you and our friends trying to get you into said dress.
Yeah, getting into the dress was by far the most difficult. I think I was attempting 3 different dresses that night, and every dress just seemed worse up until the point that the dress just seemed like a shirt. And I'm not a small person. Like, to put on a dress for me, it's like a t-shirt. It was the most awkward thing, and then add the belly and the big boobs.
Especially when you consider that this was, dress up clothes for our friend's daughter.
Yes. But yeah, no, laugh away.
Yeah, I think maybe we should just leave you guys with that image, trying to figure out, the captain with,
And no, it is not a Canadian Thanksgiving thing. Usually we dress up the turkey in the dress, but I decided I wanted to be the turkey this year. And hey, it looked like fun.
You're a turkey every other day.
It looked like fun. The turkey got beer. Why not?
Why not, indeed.
So I think we'll take a quick, nice little musical break.
And we'll try to come back and maybe talk about some geeky stuff.
Yeah,
or maybe we'll just continue this conversation.
I don't care if you haven't seen it. I'm going to have to talk about Gotham.
Okay.
There were big things that happened last night. And enjoy this music, and we will be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to the Captain Fizz and Mask Guys show. So we have a wonderful first half here, and definitely
we have the image of you dressed up in drag, burning into the skulls of the people listening in.
Yeah, so if you're still listening,
I apologize. No, we don't.
If you're still listening, good on you. You're braver than most.
You have become our special friend. So.
Yes, well, we always is our special friend.
Yes.
But no, we're going to talk about now, of course, I know you haven't seen it, but I saw it, and it's really, really awesome, right? But I saw Gotham last night, and I can't miss it. It's always that show, like, I can't miss. But anyways, they started off of 5 crashed the car. They don't show it, But then, they find, Alfred and Bruce Wayne track him down. Five decides he's going to, take off, leave town, which is, good, but, he's decided he doesn't belong in Gotham. Very smart. But then, you got the Owl Society, who doesn't actually have a mask on, show up, ask him if he's Bruce Wayne. He turns around and said, "No, I'm not." She's like, "No, but you could be." And then all of a sudden people come out, drug him, and bring him into the vehicle. Now, I'm looking at this whole thing, and during the episode they show this creature and Selina get into a fight. She's trying to rob this place. She gets, of course, caught. He comes in, starts, fighting, and gets stabbed. That's when she realizes that it is not Bruce Wayne, and they start talking. But it has raised an interesting question. I know previously I mentioned there was my theory that he would eventually become Jerome, just with Bruce Wayne's, face, whatever, put on top. But I'm starting to question, if you look at Bruce Wayne now, like an older version of the actual Batman, of his, fighting skills and the fact that he rarely feels pain, it's almost as if sometime during the line, he's actually swapped out with a different Bruce Wayne. So I'm wondering if they're going that route to kind of show that, where Bruce Wayne is, kidnapped or taken away and replaced with this other one, and they don't know the difference.
That's a possibility. Somehow, I don't think that it's the route they're going to ultimately go. I definitely think that the fact that 5 does not feel pain will be the downfall of the Owl Society's plots to go off into places.
There was some interesting parts in there. Like after he got stabbed, like he didn't feel pain, but he felt nauseous. He felt woozy. He felt weak. So there was something like on the form of pain that he felt, but not pain itself.
All these side effects of being stabbed. It's, you don't feel the pain, but you feel everything. Your body's other reactions to go off in.
Exactly.
Being stabbed. So
and he has no recognition of being anything other than at Indian Hill, which I think if they these next few episodes are going to start revealing who he was beforehand, and I think that's the key point. Finding out who he was before he became the Bruce Wayne lookalike.
Yeah, I mean that would make a lot of sense. I'd be very interested because I remember last week on the show, he goes off and he burns his arm and just kind of looks at the burn, and then Alfred punches him in the nose and he doesn't even flinch even though his nose starts bleeding.
Yeah, no, so, but they're showing a little bit more signs now of he's feeling symptoms of it. The other big thing that they've done last night, and I know I'm going to ruin it for a lot of people, and honestly I really don't care, because you're going to watch it whether I tell you about it or not. And that's the good thing about this show, is everybody is surprised about one thing or another happening in the show, whether or not they know what's happening. They're always surprised when it happens. Mm-hmm. So, of course, I think it was the previous episode where the Mad Hatter hypnotized Gordon. Well, even after the hypnotism is done, it's still there. Every time he hears something resembling a clock, he goes into his hypnotic state and attempts to kill himself. And it was the emotions that he felt for his ex that actually helped break him out of that spell eventually. That and the fact that the Mad Hatter is going to he's already become a big villain.
He apparently is the big baddie for this
He's
season.
Going to be even worse now that they've taken away Alice.
Well, I was watching something that Gotham went off and posted on Facebook, I believe it was yesterday during the afternoon, and we actually see a point where Alice is, someone is going up and extracting several vials of blood from her, and I know from last week's episode that she would go off, and if she thought blood had gone on anything, she went off and she decided she'd burn down like all Gotham just to prevent anyone becoming infected by
Mad Hatter actually got Alice back. He was the one drawing the blood from her, because and that was as a threat. So she would do what he asked, or else he would release this into people and creating monsters. But as it stands right now, Alice is no more in the show. They have officially ended that. But her blood is still around, and certain people have become infected, which I think is going to bring Gordon back into the police force.
It will be very interesting. I'll have to go off and try to watch the episode. Perhaps if I get a chance.
My words don't do enough to explain this
absolutely
episode.
Not. I mean, I'm a real fan of the show. I just unfortunately because family and everything, I didn't get home until almost 11 o'clock last night, and so at that point it's like, should I watch Gotham? Should I see watch the new Supergirl? And I just figured, what, screw it. When I get a chance, I'll watch.
Did you actually watch the new Supergirl last night?
I didn't. Again, I'll have to go back and check it out.
That's what I actually didn't go to watch last night.
I do know that they have finally introduced Superman as an actual on-air character. Because last season all we really got to see of her, at least in the episodes I actually got around to watching, is either him texting her or seeing him sort of but with his face blocked out.
Yeah, and I really wish they'd gone that direction a little bit more for another season, making it more about Supergirl and less about Superman. And I feel like it's just it's a ratings gimmick.
Well, I think it's just, they've switched over. They went from CBS now to the CW down in the States, so they really felt like they needed to do something cool, to introduce her. Although, from what I still understand, she's still not part of the quote-unquote Arrowverse, which is unfortunate because it would have been really interesting to have some crossovers with Flash and Arrow and their friends.
I think eventually we will see those crossovers a little bit more, but I don't know. Right now, I think Supergirl is perfect on her own. I don't think she needs Superman to jump in. I don't think they need him in the show.
I think they need to acknowledge that he does exist.
Oh, yes.
Now, but, of course, and again, I went off and they posted a trailer for this. For those people who remember Smallville, they're actually coming out with a Smallville miniseries, which will, it looks like, anyways, it's going to go off and it's going to include everyone from the Arrowverse and, the people from Supergirl verse, if you will.
So almost as if a way they're combining them all into one and opening up the doors to do a crossover.
Well, there's, at the very end of Smallville, we see him going off to attack Darkseid. And there is some what might be perceived as a warp hole kind of opening up. So it could be a tease so that, this Superman is going to find his way into, either to the Arrowverse or to Supergirl's world, and then somehow this portal opens up and allows, the characters from the third dimension, if you will, to, come together. And who knows, maybe we'll see both versions of the Flash. There's definitely, Flash this season with them doing the whole Flashpoint, story is going to be very interesting. There's just a lot, and I'm already, freaking out because I don't know if I have enough time to watch all these shows. This past weekend I finished watching the Luke Cage. Have you even watched it?
I haven't watched any of it, but I'll let you talk a little bit about it. I'll still be watching it no matter what.
Luke Cage, you know what? Luke Cage was a good show. Definitely, at points, to me, it felt that they were really hammering in